Welcome to Big League Perspective. My name is Billy Pinkney, author of Passion Prevails, and I'm excited to start up this new show where we'll be diving into the mental side of sports. I'm a baseball guy. I've come from baseball roots, having spent a decade plus working in minor league baseball and then working with big leaguers, working with guys who have battled through the ranks and trying to get to the highest level. So it's been a pleasure and a privilege to work alongside players who have dedicated so much time to perfecting their craft and trying to become the best person they can be off the field as well. And I feel like this is a perfect blend for us to share the stories of the players and what they had to deal with. So many of these guys and girls had to deal with adversity, had to deal with challenges along the way. Nothing came easy. It didn't happen by accident. Things happened for a reason, and that's really what I want to share throughout this digital series called Big League Perspective. There's an outlook that you need to have. You need to have that positive mentality, the mentality that you're going to go out there and give it your all, and things will happen the way they need to. And you can't overthink it too much. And there are different lessons that you can definitely take into account when you're playing, and then applying it to your life is truly incredible what sports can do. So real quick, I want to dive into the 10 perspective points. The perspective points will be the 10 core values of this show. So first we have your identity is not in the sport that you play. So many of us, myself included, have looked at our sport as if it's who we are, not just what we do. And when you take anything and say that that's who you are, baseball's who I am, it's tied together with your personality, with who you are to other people, things could get a little bit blurry. Your intentions won't always be set as they truly should be. You need to be able to separate the two. And that's a tough thing for a lot of people. It was a tough thing for me to do as a player growing up, where baseball was something that I loved so much that I always wanted to be involved with. But it's something that needs to happen. And we'll dive into that a little bit more later. Number two, be faithful to God and His plan for you. A lot of times we look at sports as an idol, as the main thing all the time. That's something that we focus so much of our energy and attention on. And, oh, I need to grind, and find a way to get to this next level, and things aren't working out. What am I going to do? Man, slow down a little bit. God's got a plan for you. Trust His process. Trust the plan that He's set out for you. And if it's in His will, it'll happen. But of course, you have to put in the work as well. So there's a balance there in trusting the plan and at the same time putting in that work. Number three, prove yourself right, not others wrong. I love this because a lot of players, if you're playing a sport, you think about it, you're trying to prove to your coaches to give you playing time. You're trying to prove to other people to take a shot on you. You're trying to prove to scouts that you have what it takes to play at the next level. But prove yourself right. Focus on proving yourself right, doing what you know you're capable of doing. That's where some players get lost sometimes. They focus too much on the noise, the other people watching them from the stands, from the videotape after the game, all this external stuff, but focus on proving yourself right and enjoying what you're doing, and that'll lead to more joy and ultimately, I believe, better results. Number four, you were born with a purpose, allow it to be revealed to you. I truly believe that we all have a purpose here on earth. We all have meaning, and we're meant to impact people in a positive way. Sometimes we may need to take a step back and try to figure out, what is it that I'm meant to do? Many of us are gifted with talents and have the athletic ability to do great things on the field, on the court, on the rink, wherever it is. But we have a greater purpose, and that may be to impact our teammates, our coaches, young kids out there who want to play the same sport as us. That's really the main key, finding that purpose. And you can't manufacture that. You have to let it be revealed to you. And that's what I've been trying to do as well as I've grown up in my career. Number five, your teammates will remember how you treated them. Man, I could think back, and I could close my eyes right now and think back to guys I played with, players I've been around, and I could automatically say if that person made me feel better or worse about myself by how they treated me years ago. So you don't want to be a player who, when your teammate closes their eyes 10 years down the road, they all of a sudden think negatively about you because of how you treated them. That's not what you should do. You want to treat somebody right. You want to treat somebody with respect. Bring up your teammates. Allow them to be a better person by giving them feedback that can help them get better. And that's really what it's all about. Be that good teammate. Number 6, learn from others' mistakes as if they were your own. I think this has been one of my strengths personally, not replicating the mistakes of other people, but look around. Whether it's your family, your friends, people in society, people make mistakes. People make mistakes, and you don't want to replicate that. It's stupidity if you replicate the mistakes of others after you realize that that was a mistake and it shouldn't happen again. So don't make those same mistakes. Learn from other people. It'll then minimize the amount of mistakes you make. And of course, you will make mistakes too. But at least you have more wisdom when making decisions. Number 7, create your own approach if you want a different result than others. I love this one too because if you create your own approach, you're expecting to have completely different results than other people. If you look around, especially if you're in high school, if you're in middle school, and everyone is doing the same thing. Everyone's doing this on the weekends. Everyone's doing this in their free time. And that's the result that they're getting. Man, if you want a different result, if you don't want what they're getting and you want something greater, then you have to have a different approach. So the input has to be different in order to get a different output. And I focus on that throughout my time in high school and putting in extra work when other people were slacking off, when they were doing things on the weekends that I was not interested in doing. And then the proof's in the pudding. And ultimately, hours and hours and hours build up, days build up, years build up of that type of action. And then you're in a pretty nice place down the road. Even if it's not instantaneous, down the road, it compounds and it makes a whole lot of sense. Number 8, live for each day, not the weekends. You want to look at Monday like Saturday and Sunday like Thursday. Each day is a blessing. Each day is important. Each day is an opportunity to get better, to be the best person you can be. I never wanted to live for Friday night, for Saturday night, and then Sunday is the day to recover, and the rest of the week is misery, right? I don't want to wake up Monday morning and be miserable because I have a full week of work. That's a loser's mindset. It's a loser's mentality. I was not interested in that, and neither should you. If you're an athlete, if you're somebody who's younger, man, take this into consideration. Focus on being the best you can be each day and treat every day like it's a great day, like it's the weekend. And be responsible and know that, man, this is a blessing this day. How can I get better? How can I get better? Number 9, create your own version of cool because fitting in is what losers do. Everyone wants to fit in, right? Everyone wants to fit in. No one wants to stand out. But if you want something great, if you want to accomplish great things, you're going to have to stand out. You're going to be doing things differently than others, and you want to create your own version of cool, the cool that isn't accepted by the kids who you're going to school with or the kids who are on your team. A lot of times the popular kids are the athletes, right? Or the cheerleaders or whoever else in a certain clique. You don't want to be a part of that. You don't want to be a part of that. And a lot of kids want to fit in and be like the cool kids and all that stuff. Man, I'm telling you, if you dedicate time to being the best person you can be, doing things differently than anyone else, and creating your own version of cool, you'll be the coolest guy in the room in a few years. Give it 5, 6 years down the road, and you'll be the guy who's the man. And I've lived through it. And that's really important. Create your own version of cool. Fitting in is what losers do. And number 10, embrace your passion because passion prevails. I'm huge on passion. You have to be passionate about something. You have to be passionate about your sport if you want to truly get the most out of yourself. Passion Prevails is the name of my book. I truly believe it's part of the foundation of how I've gotten to this point. and why I love the sport of baseball so much. I'm just so passionate and I love it. And passion will help you work harder when maybe you don't feel like it or you're not as motivated. The discipline and passion, they work hand in hand. So if you're passionate about something, it'll prevail. You'll keep going because of how truly you love it. And that's what's truly important. Those are the 10 perspective points that will be the core foundation of Big League Perspective, the show. And I'm excited to bring on friends of mine in the sports world, especially the baseball community, because that's where I've grown up in, and just talk about these topics. I feel like each guest that we have on can heavily relate to at least one of these topics. Now, I have experience with all 10, but I want to bring on people who can dive deeper into each of them and try to find ways to help inspire you, because I know it's not easy. I know it's not an easy journey to be a youth athlete who wants to think differently than others, who wants to be more mature, and who maybe was blessed with some wisdom at a younger age and doesn't want to make the mistakes of other people in middle school and high school and college. And that's what it's really all about, making the most of that opportunity. So thank you for joining us. Be sure to follow, subscribe, like the video, comment down below who you're looking to see on the show. Maybe there's a player or a coach or somebody in mind who you think would be great for this series. Drop them down in the comments, and I'll be sure to check them out. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you later.